Captain Marcus Chen rubbed his temples as the crystalline shriek echoed through the diplomatic quarters of the Harmony Station. For the third time in 2 hours, Ambassador Zix Thala of the Nexari Empire was having what her species called an emotional cascade, essentially a very loud, very public breakdown. "What do I have to do to bond with you tonight, human?" she wailed, her translucent blue form flickering with agitated bioluminescence. Marcus sighed and set down his cup of coffee. As Earth's lead cultural liaison, he'd dealt with plenty of interspecies misunderstandings, but the Nexari were proving particularly challenging. Their entire society was built around instantaneous psychic bonding, a process that apparently took all of 30 seconds for them to achieve complete emotional intimacy with another being. The problem was, humans couldn't do it. "Ambassador," Marcus said gently, approaching the distraught alien diplomat, "perhaps we should discuss this cultural difference again." Zix Thala's 4 arms gestured wildly, her voice rising to frequencies that made the station's metal walls vibrate. "I have followed every human bonding ritual in your databases. I learned your small talk, though why you would speak of weather when you're inside a space station baffles me. I prepared your comfort foods, though I nearly poisoned myself trying to understand why you consume fermented plant matter. I even attempted your mysterious handshake greeting, despite having twice as many appendages as necessary." Other diplomats in the corridor had stopped to stare. A Vorthon trade representative was recording the scene with obvious amusement, while a group of Kalani observers whispered among themselves in their musical language. Marcus felt heat rise in his cheeks. "Ambassador, these aren't bonding rituals. They're just normal social interactions." "Normal?" Zix Thala's bioluminescence flared bright enough to require the station's windows to automatically dim. "You humans are the most socially complex species in the galaxy. Every interaction is layered with subtext, hidden meanings, and inexplicable customs. Do you have any idea how exhausting it is to navigate 17 different conversation topics just to ask if someone wants to share a meal?" Dr. Sarah Kim, the station's xenopsychologist, materialized at Marcus's elbow. She'd clearly been monitoring the situation from her office. "Ambassador Zix Thala, may I ask what prompted tonight's particular urgency?" The Nexari diplomat's form shimmered with what Marcus had learned to recognize as embarrassment. "The trade negotiations begin tomorrow. In my culture, all significant agreements must be preceded by deep emotional bonding between the parties involved. Without this connection, my people will consider any treaty invalid. I have been trying for 3 weeks to achieve this bond with Captain Chen, but humans are impossible." Marcus exchanged glances with Dr. Kim. The Nexari trade agreement was crucial. They controlled shipping lanes that could cut Earth's supply routes by 30%. But if their culture required psychic bonding, "What exactly does bonding involve for your species?" Dr. Kim asked, pulling out her tablet to take notes. Zix Thala's bioluminescence dimmed to a soft, melancholy blue. "We simply open our minds to each other, share our deepest thoughts, fears, hopes. In moments, we understand each other completely. Trust becomes absolute, but humans—" She gestured helplessly at Marcus. "Your minds are like fortresses, layer upon layer of complexity, defense mechanisms, private thoughts you guard jealously." "It's not that we don't want to connect," Marcus said carefully. "We just do it differently, more slowly." "How slowly?" Zix Thala demanded. "Well," Marcus thought about his relationship with his wife, built over 15 years of marriage. "Depends on the person. Could be months, years. Some people never fully open up." The alien diplomat's form flickered with what might have been panic. "Years? The negotiations are tomorrow. The Council of 7 will arrive expecting me to present a bonded partnership or face exile." Dr. Kim stepped forward. "Ambassador, what if we showed you how human bonding actually works? Not the quick version your species prefers, but the real process? Marcus shot her a warning look, but she continued. Captain Chen, would you be willing to demonstrate authentic human emotional connection? What exactly are you suggesting? Share something real with the ambassador, not small talk or diplomatic pleasantries. Something genuine. Marcus felt every eye in the corridor on him. The weight of interspecies relations literally rested on his shoulders. He took a deep breath. Ambassador, 3 years ago, I lost my father to a disease we couldn't cure. I was commanding a deep space mission when he died. Couldn't be there. For months afterward, I questioned every decision I made, wondered if I was worthy of the responsibility others placed in me. Zix Thala's bioluminescence stilled, shifting to a warm amber glow. The reason I accepted this posting, Marcus continued, was because I wanted to build something that would outlast me. These trade agreements, these cultural exchanges, they're how we create a legacy that matters. When I sit across from you at those negotiations tomorrow, I'm not just representing Earth's economic interests. I'm trying to build a bridge between our peoples that my eventual children might cross someday. The corridor had gone silent. Even the Vorthon had stopped recording. Zix Thala approached slowly, her forearms extending toward Marcus. May I? Marcus nodded, and the alien diplomat gently placed her hands on his shoulders. Her touch was warm, and though he felt no psychic connection, something passed between them, a recognition of shared purpose, mutual respect. This is how humans bond, she said, wonder in her voice. Not through mind-sharing, but through vulnerability. Trust earned slowly, through risk and revelation. Exactly, Dr. Kim said. It takes time, but it can be just as strong as what your species achieves. Zix Thala stepped back, her bioluminescence now a steady, confident gold. Then we are bonded, Captain Chen. Perhaps not in the way my people expected, but in a way that honors both our species. As the crowd dispersed and the diplomatic crisis resolved itself, Marcus realized something profound had just occurred. The Nexari would leave these negotiations with more than a trade agreement. They'd discovered that connection didn't require psychic abilities or instant intimacy. Sometimes the strongest bonds were forged through patience, understanding, and the courage to be genuinely human. And perhaps that was the most HFY thing of all, that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in matching other species' abilities, but in showing them entirely new ways to connect.